Hey guys, this is going to be a demonstration on how you guys can create your own surreal collage at home. So we're going to be focusing on these 3 steps, which is selecting your imagery, number 1, choosing your background, number 2, and then 3, experimenting and exploring. So the first thing that you guys are going to need to do is you're going to need to find a lot of imagery. So I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I cut out. You're going to look through things like newspapers, magazines. You're going to cut out really weird, random things, but things that are kind of attractive. Cool poses of kind of ordinary things like a dog. Maybe some interesting things like a toy that you can turn into something very unique. Even just regular human body parts that are very crisp and clear. You also want to think about images in terms of your background, like where is the setting of this collage taking place. So in this one, it's kind of has a couple of different backgrounds. It has a mountain range, then it clearly this was probably taken from like a fashion ad, right? Or maybe perfume or something like that. Again, another mountain range, some sky. You can look in magazines and newspapers. You can also look on the internet if you have access to a printer. Newspapers, obviously that will be limited to possibly black and white, but also there are some color images there. Lots and lots of imagery, so you have a lot of choices for when you select things that you want to go in your space. And again, for backgrounds, take more than one thing, and you're going to then experiment and explore. So I'm going to show you some ways that we can kind of do that today. This is one of the background images that I found. I kind of liked it because it's just like goes to nowhere, right? It's like this endless kind of dock that goes out. The only things that we don't really love are this words, right? We don't really want words in our collage. Another collage background possibility that I found was this one, which is just flowers. That again has words in it, but we could cover that up if we don't love that. So I'm gonna start with this one and show you guys kind of how you can play around with imagery at home. So one thing that I kind of found that I liked was, and you see this a lot in an artist named Rene Magritte's work, he has this floating apple kind of happen more than one time. So I'm gonna paste mine there. I haven't actually glued anything. In terms of glue, you can use regular Elmer's glue or you can use a glue stick. I'm going to use a cardboard box to kind of glue the back of my surfaces and then put them on that way. Okay, so for now we're just going to place them out. So that was one thing that I found that was cool. I also really liked this image of this family that I found that they're pointing up. So I thought that would be kind of cool. They can be pointing up like they're looking at this apple, which is kind of weird. It does not belong in this space, right? I also found an ad that had a bunch of paintbrushes, and I'm not really sure how I want those to go just yet, but I thought I could use those, possibly to cover up some of this word stuff happening here. And the idea is that you're going to rearrange things more than one time, right? You're going to see how that looks. You may not like that at all. Maybe you want to incorporate something else, like, I don't know, I found this really kind of funny. If I took all of that out, right, I found this really funny dog in another advertisement. If I could get it so that he's covering up those words, or maybe it looks like he's coming down this dock. The idea is that you're creating imagery that would not normally happen. That's what surrealism is about, right? It's about creating these dream-like spaces. Some advertisements of watches. This perfectly covers my words, right? But I don't know if it makes sense in the space. I thought about possibly removing this watch face and putting like the world inside of there if I could find it. So you're gonna do that many, many times, right? And you may have something that's kind of cropped. You could have it go off the page. I could lose these guys, see what it looks like if maybe they're eating the words or... Anyway, so that is what a collage is. You're going to be taking your pieces and kind of putting them together to create one final image.